Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at the Yakima RidgeBack hanging style bike rack right here on our 2022 Kia Carnival. So the Yakima RidgeBack is what you would use if you want to carry a lot of bikes and still be able to have those premium hanging rack features that Yakima offers. So the RidgeBack comes as a 4 or a 5 bike option. I personally would recommend just going ahead and getting the 5 bike version just so that's ready when you're ready. So we'll talk about the way our bike is mounted here. We have 1, 2, and 3 mounting points. That third mounting point is going to be our anti-sway cage. So notice how much sway we have with this engaged. When we press this lever and we pull that ZipStrip out and we push the cradle up, notice how much more sway we have now. This is important, especially when you get multiple bikes up on this bike rack, because you want to make sure that they don't all just sway into each other as you drive around. So we took off one ZipStrip, now we'll take off the others. You just press these levers and just lift that ZipStrip out. That's why they're named that way, because it's so quick and easy to use that. So now that those 3 are out, we're just going to lift our bike up and then bring them through the bike rack. This can be tricky when you have your smaller kids' bikes frames. It's definitely something worth considering. If you have women's bikes or step-through bikes, you may have to get a frame adapter bar for them to fit up onto these cradles. Notice how the cradles are designed. We have this nice cushion here, and then we also have that little groove on the inside for your brake lines or brake cables. You have your ZipStrip that also has a cushion on the top, and then it just secures your bike's frame just like that. So my personal recommendation after using these hanging racks is, after a little bit of time, I do recommend just switching around your zip strips, kind of like how you rotate your tires. You can rotate them, like let's say move these cradle strips over to here, so they all get an equal amount of wear and tear. Okay, the way these are made is that the cradles are about 5.5 inches apart, pretty normal for a hanging style bike rack. The Yakima back road does it a little bit better, where they have them even further apart. But the downside to that design is that it also means that you have a longer bike rack. Because notice, right over here, it takes up a good amount of space behind your Kia Carnival. The 5 bike version will take a little bit more. Let's take some measurements to see exactly how much. I'm going to measure from our bumper to the end of the bike rack by our Yakima signature bottle openers, and it sits at about 39 inches of length added to the back of the Carnival. This is already a long vehicle, so if you have a small garage, you'll have to take some measurements. Hopefully this will help you out, because whenever you back into that garage or try to park into a tight spot, don't forget that you have a bike rack as well as bikes behind you. The good news to that though is, if you want to, when you're not carrying your bikes around and you want to just carry the bike rack around, you can fold these arms down. We have this lever right over here. You can lift up on the arms, lift up on the lever, and then just fold this down. It catches it in the down position. Let's take some measurements to see the difference that made. I'm going to measure again from that bumper to the closest point, and that's about 7.5 inches to where that mast is. The length now added to the back of our vehicle is going to be about 14 inches. So that's a big difference compared to when the bike rack's arms were up. So you definitely want it in this position when you're just planning on driving around town. But with this here, can you open your hatch? You can if the bikes are off, because then you can tilt the bike rack away. We have a lever in the front. Pull that lever. Push this down. Notice how deep a tilt we have with this. This is deeper than some of our other hanging racks. Helpful because look at how much space we now have between our door and our bike rack. We can now get into our trunk, grab whatever we need, whether it's our waters, our helmets, our backpacks. We can get them without having to take the whole bike rack off. We do have to take your bikes off though, so that could take a little bit of time. That's something that the platform racks at Tilt Away have over a hanging rack like this. Now, what is it like living with a bike rack behind your vehicle? Notice how this sits just a little bit above the bottom of our bottom window, so we still have pretty much full visibility there. Our taillights are obviously still very visible. It does cover our backup camera and a bit of our license plate. So the good thing is that your Kia Carnival has a 360-degree view all around you as you back in or park into tight spots, so that's still going to help you out in those situations. Let's talk about how this fits into our hitch. We have an 1.25 inch shank with an included 2-inch hitch adapter. So we have a 2-inch hitch on our Carnival. And then this is secured by this little safety pin. It's not an anti-rattle bolt. What's creating the anti-rattle effect is this knob here. So this is tightened down. It extends a wedge inside of your hitch receiver, creating an anti-rattle effect. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to shake our bike rack just to simulate that road movement and vibration. I'm really just shaking the car at this point. That's because of that wedge. I know some people are concerned if it does have an 1.25 inch shank, does it mean there's still more movement? As you can see, there is not. There may be a little bit movement on the arms, but not really. It's a strong and sturdy bike rack. So my personal thoughts about the Yakima RidgeBack is, if you are looking for an affordable bike rack that still has the Yakima premium comfort features, this could be a good option for you. You can even upgrade this bike rack and add an additional, I think it's called speed cuff knob, that installs right into the back panel and creates locks. That way you don't have to use your own cable locks. Now, if you want something a bit more premium, maybe check out the Yakima Back Road. It's longer and it has more space between your bikes. If you're carrying around children's bikes though, you may want to check out the Curt premium hanging style bike rack. Doesn't have the same comfort features, but has a unique tapered design, especially for those children's bikes. Or you can even upgrade to a platform style bike rack that allows you to tilt your bikes away and access your hatch. That's going to be the Kuat Transfer V2 bike rack. But all in all, this checks off most of the boxes and is going to be a great bike rack for if you want to carry all your friends and family inside your vehicle and you all want to go for a bike ride. So this was a look at the Curt RidgeBack hanging style bike rack right here on our 2022 Kia Carnival.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.